Well then, from the streets of Monaco across the European continent to the streets of Baku, welcome along to round 6 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The country is next to the Caspian Sea, as we were almost a week ago with the Mediterranean Sea, but this one is different. It's called the Land of Fire, and races this season have been anything to go by. The flame is bigger than ever. That flame sparked harder than ever a week ago after a Monaco Grand Prix that was very chaotic and saw a lot of front wing changes, which, speaking of Monaco, you can fit 43,300 Monacos into the Azerbaijani border. Isn't that a sight to see? But here's the thing. Azerbaijan itself is not that large, only 86,600 square miles, which is about 43 times less than the size of the United States. It's very small indeed. Enough about the country. Let's talk about the track. There's 20 corners, 12 to the left, 8 to the right, which makes up the 6-kilometer, 3.73-mile circuit. There's 2 DRS zones, one on the run down to turn 1 and the other on the run into turn 3. And it will provide a lot of opportunities for overtaking on a track that overtaking itself has not been very difficult. What will be difficult? Getting out of the barriers. I say that because a week ago in Monaco, like I said, had a lot of front wing changes where it seemed where everyone had a bit of flirtation with those barriers. Will that be a factor tonight? What will definitely be a factor, though, will be the tires choices that the drivers choose. Pirelli dropped and brought their softest range of tires into the Baku Street Circuit. We have the access to the C5, C4, and C3 tires, with the C5 being the red wool softs, which you see right now with Botch-Sturble. C4 being the yellow wooled medium, and the C3 being the white wooled hard compound tires, and the intermediates in full wet conditions are also available, those tires, to be used by the drivers if necessary. Let's talk about the championship then. Sweller's team leads the championship by 14 points of SSR Wraith, which kind of went down a little bit. It was 16 going into Monaco. Wraith gained 2 points. Gerbil sits third, which we saw, 65 points, 18 over Toneless. And fourth, he's won 2 of the last 2. Can he make it 3 in a row? Mozzie sits fifth with 35 points, 1 point clear of No Limit, who sits 1 point over the AlphaTauri of Heatwave. In 7th, a close fight from 5th to 7th, but don't count out Tweaking. He sits 8th, 2 points behind Heatwave with 31 points, but he's 15 points over Chunky Snags, a little bit of a buffer to the Williams behind him. Silkweaver sits 10th and with 15 points, who is tied on points with Calzoner in 11th. Well, the constructors are a little bit more comfortable, the gap-wise. Aston Martin leads Red Bull by 39 points, with Aston Martin once again on board with Botch-Sturble and now Masterplane in the session as well. They are 6 points behind the Milton Keynes team. Ferrari sit 4th, 1 point adrift of Aston Martin with 78 points. And McLaren sits 5th, 16 points clear of the Italian AlphaTauri team. Mercedes sits 7th with 28 points, 12 clear of Williams in 8th. And Williams sit 1 point ahead of Alpine with 15 points. And Haas rounds out the top 10 and the championship fight with 1 singular point. And they're going to need a championship hope tonight, which unfortunately both their drivers are not in the session. My name's Hey Catcher, joined alongside, once again, by LDR Redeemer. Now, Redeemer, what do you think it takes to win here? I was close last night, but came up short. Maybe you can help some of these Tier 2 drivers. Is it strategy or all at race pace?
It's definitely strategy. You know, coming to Baku, it's the same thing as Monaco. You're trying not to hit the wing or hit the walls and get wing damage, especially through the castle section where Botch-Sturble just came through. And this downhill left-hander is really tricky because you gotta come in at the corner on the left, braking, turning right at the same time, and then go back left, hitting the apex. So that corner can be a bit tricky. Also, coming into Castle where Charles Leclerc crashed out in 2019, that corner can be very tricky for some of these drivers here tonight as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens and what kind of curveballs we get thrown at us tonight.
Yep, that will all start with this lap right here. Botch-Sturble is going to be the first one to cross the start-finish line, and the lap will be a 1:39 flat, almost 6 milliseconds adrift of that perfect 0:00 lap time. So he's going to be the time that everyone's going to chase after. Behind him is one of the Ferrari-powered cars. It may have been Mozzie going through the start-finish straight and going to start his flying lap. Ahead of him is going to be the Mercedes, I believe, of Calzoner, who actually we have not seen in a couple of weeks' time. I actually don't think I've actually commented over him. But we have a yellow flag through, and I believe that is a Red Bull off the pace. Maybe Palms for the win. Holy cow, goes to 40.732, up to P2 at the moment. About 1.7 seconds off of the Aston Martin ahead. He's going to look to try and close that gap just a little bit. Like I said, though, some of these guys are going to try to do the best they can to stay out of these barriers. Have we already seen some hit the wall?
Yeah, Palms for the win is coming in also. I believe the next driver is going to be Groggy. And then it's going to be Mozzie coming across the line to set their first laps, as Groggy's going to come into the pits as well. That is the third driver to come into the pits.
Yeah, No Limit was ahead of him. Well, let's see what Wraith can do. He got a purple sector 2, is the Red Bull. Remember, he's 14 point back of the Alfa Romeo ahead in the championship lead. Can the Red Bull have anything for this provisional pole position right now? A 39.0. Like I said, Mozzie goes a 40.5. And Master Plane goes a 40.2. Aston Martin 1-2. Now it's just Red Bull going ahead with a 38.6. 4/10 clear of the Aston Martin in P1.
Yeah, Calzone's coming across the line. They're through the final DRS zone now. Hugging that right side of the wall on the medium tires, too. So this is going to be a slug. And he did a 40.7. Speller Stream coming through as well. He's going to activate DRS, staying on the right-hand side of the wall as well. He's going to drift back over to the center of the track. He's going to go P2. Almost 3/10 behind Wraith in P1.
Well, this is already a little bit of a shocker, if I'm honest. By the way, I love that helmet on the Alfa Romeo Sweller has. But right now we have had 7 drivers qualify. 6 have chosen the C5 tires, the softs, to go on for their opening qualifying lap. Well, we have a lot of the guys in the 40s from Masterplane on down to Calzoner, but 3 of those 4 are on the softs. Are they banker laps or are they full-fledged push laps? We'll have to come see in a couple minutes' time. 11 minutes and 38 seconds left in the session now, a little bit less than that, to see what these drivers can do. Remember, from Groggy on down to Palms, no one's gone out. Groggy's now gone out onto the track, and me saying that. So how will these guys choose? Right now, they've all chosen those C5s. Is it going to be more of a soft compound race? Remember, though, if it is a wet Grand Prix, these tires won't matter. But if it is a dry Grand Prix, the top 10 drivers are the drivers that have to start on the compound they qualified into. So that would mean everyone would be on the softs except for Calzoner in 7th with the mediums. Mozzie, I believe, went up to P4.
Yeah, Mozzie's done 2 laps on those mediums with no ERS left in that battery.
Well,
and Palms for the Win is coming
well
on an out lap as well, followed by Thomas.
See what some of these guys can do. Not a lot of guys had a good weekend last time out in Monaco. If you do remember, it was kind of chaotic Grand Prix where a lot of drivers, like I've said multiple times by now, have went into the pit lane about 4, 5, 6 times. That's a yellow flag through the final sector. It may be a Ferrari-powered car. It could be Sweller.
Yes.
Or Mozzie out of gas.
Sweller is out of fuel.
Yes, that's what I believe it was. So let's see what these guys can do and hopefully stay out of the barriers this time. And apparently, according to Heatwave, it is dry, so we're not going to worry about any rain once again through the streets of Baku. And yes, I am looking at the chat, Minico. Thanks for asking. Well, now that we know it's a dry Grand Prix, the soft tire choice is a little bit strange now. Will we have anyone using those C4s? If they use the C3s, it's going to be starting outside the top 10, which, by the way, I do not expect many people to go on the hard compound of tire because it's not really the best tire to go on. I mean, if anything, if you've seen for the past couple of races through realistic Tier 3 and Tier 4, if anyone has gone on the hard compound tires, the C3 has been under the safety car, which the next lap they switched into another set of tires, most preferably the medium. So I'm thinking it could be the same thing. But remember, though, if you have tuned in to realistic Tier 3 or Tier 4, you've noticed a common occurrence. There has been a plethora of safety cars. Will we see one today? That maybe put a big factor in some of these guys' tire choice. What's happened to Groggy?
He ran deep into corner number 5, I believe it is, after Sector 1, and he overcooked it into the next corner, turn 6, and threw himself into the wall.
Well, he has no left side end plate, so as he went through that turn 5, 6, I guess... Oh!
He just... Did he declare it? Oh, he did. Yeah. That was kind of sketchy, if I'm honest, just looking solely from the steering wheel inputs. Want to not really say anything about that. But Groggy has lost his entire front wing now. He's going to go down to the pit lane and probably go and choose a new set of tires if he can make it back there. Remember, some of these corners requires a decent amount of downforce, even though it's basically almost flat. So if Groggy can get back there, it's going to be a very, very tall order, but it's possible. How slow he has to be, it's going to be up to him. Driver behind him, though, that's going to be on a lap, will be Palms for the win. And he's valid still. Yes, he is. So he's going through now into the fast double left section before this tiny, I guess, downhill right that goes into a sharp left, which is it's going to catch out a few drivers in the race, I believe, some hitting that wall. Yeah, another thing, too, that curb on the inside on the left, if those drivers hit that during any point, it does unsettle the car, and it will throw them into the wall without any notice. as it does unsettle it pretty well. And Palms did set a purple sector 1 on this lap, so we're going to see what they do.
Going up to the line, his teammate got a 38.6. Can Palms match that? No, he cannot, but 40.0 puts up the P4, though. That puts 2 Red Bulls in the top 4. Yellow flag once again. That's the other Red Bull, BRL Wraith. Has he hit the wall? I believe he was just backing off, getting some separation.
Thomas is going to go again. P4. Gerbil's on the lap coming through now. See if he can improve. And he's going to go at the 38.8.
Impressive lap time from the Aston Martin driver. Remember, he's won 2 of the last 2 races at Monaco and at Spain, where downforce has been pretty much a necessity. How will he fare in the streets of Baku? Once again, it's kind of similar to an extent of the streets of Monaco. However, unlike Monaco, you're going to have a lot of overtaking, especially down the long straightaways, down into turn 1 and turn 3. And yes, I do see you in the chat. Hello, Zach.
Yeah, Plane's on a lap right now as well, followed closely behind by Holy Cow, as Heatwave and Chunky are starting laps, as Calzoner is also starting a lap. As there's a yellow flag ahead. Is that for...
Believe it may be Mozzie or Sweller letting past a, I believe at the time it was a Red Bull.
Toneless. That's who it was.
It was Toneless.
Yep.
Well, it was a red car. I can't really see too well. Well, a lot of these drivers are now choosing on their out laps. 13 drivers are in the session. 12 are out on the track. The only one not out right now is No Limit in the McLaren. He's in the pit lane once again. He was out a few moments ago towards the beginning of this session. 6 minutes left to go, so we're almost about, what, 2/3 of the way done through the session. So we're going to see what these guys can do lap time-wise. 4 drivers have yet to set a time. Groggy Oregano is on an out lap. Chunky Snacks we're on board with right now. TTM Heatwave is out on an out flying lap, as well. You see Groggy in front of him trying to let pass. The Williams going down into turn 7. This is the entry of the castle section as he goes through the old Capitol and the old castle. Oh, Chunky almost loses it going through. Now into 8, 9, 10. Oh, almost into the wall there. Very close, very tight. But these drivers have to get as close to that barrier as they can. Wraith goes even faster, 38.421, and that goes 4/10 of a drift almost ahead of the Aston Martin of Gerbil. Yellow flag.
Toneless is out of fuel.
Yes, what I thought it would. Oh, I think Chunky may have hit the wall there. Behind him, you see one of the Mercedes drivers. Is that Holy Cow or Calzoner? It is Calzoner going fast. Chunky's going to bail out of that lap and let Calzoner through as he was gaining pretty rapidly on the Williams driver. He now goes through turn 18 into 19, and the flat right of turn 20 is the rapidly approaching Mercedes driver right now. He's P9, a 40.7, but he did that lap on the medium compound tire. The C4, he's on the softs. Is he going to complete this lap? He's going closer to that pit lane. He is going to come in into the pit lane. TTM Heatwave, by the way, goes up to P8. It's 40.132 ahead of Cowell in P9, so now it puts both Mercedes down 9th and 10th respectively. Groggy's going to start his flying lap in a couple seconds. Actually, there he goes, right there to start it right now. No Limit and Chunky are the only 2 other than Groggy to not set a time. No Limit is on an out lap now. Chunky is in the pit lane.
Yeah, it's interesting is Wraith has got that big time advantage right now over Botch Gerbil.
That is a pretty big advantage. You see 4/10 separates first and second, with Sweller about a 10th or so behind. Let's go look at the gap to leader. That would probably be the best chance to actually show it from there. There we go. 3/10 adrift is Botch Gerbil. The yellow flag through. That is an Alpha Tauri. Is that Heatwave through the castle section? Yes, it is. Exit of turn 7. Wasn't even into the old castle section of 8, 9, 10, 11. He's lost his entire front wing and almost into the barriers again. He's going to have a decent way back to the pit lane, but he should have enough time to get that all sorted up. But by the way, I see Skeppy in the chat doing it. Let's have some fun. Prediction time. Who do you think is going to be on pole? Is it going to be Wraith? Will Botch Gerbil grab it? Will Sweller grab it? Will it be a shot pole position? Will we see No Limit and rekindle his early pace that he had at the beginning of the season? Will he come and grab pole? Will it be someone in between? Who will it be? We have 35 people watching the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Now it's time to go turn your eyes to the chat and predict who do you think is going to be on pole for round 6 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Closest one to the flying and the finish straight is going to be Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo. Is this going to be a flyer? Looks like through the ERS it is not. It's going to be an in-lap for that Alfa Romeo. Behind him, though, I believe is going to be the Alpha Tauri of Heatwave. Once again, he had front wing damage from a collision in the exit of turn 7. So That is probably going to be another pit lane. Yes, it is. So everyone's going to be in the pits. Heatwave's actually out of the session. Was that going into the pit lane or into the... I think it may actually be... It actually may be crashed into the pit lane entry. Not sure exactly. But drivers are now going out to set their final laps of the session we have right now.
Oh, it
We've
was.
had 13 drivers on track. What?
It was Heatwave crashing in pit entry.
That's what I thought.
He's on board with Groggy. You can see his damage.
Well, right now it's going to be crucial for some of these guys. Groggy, Chunky, and No Limit all have no times on the board, and I believe No Limit's... Is that him going slowly in the first couple of corners? No, it's not. It's an Alfa Romeo letting him out of the way. It may be a Swellersteam. Yes, it is. Going behind him, you see the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what No Limit can do. He's on those mediums, by the way. Let's go research what the tire they have on. Chunky's on the mediums. No Limit's on the mediums. The only driver who else is on the mediums is TTM Heatwave in P8. Remember, he qualified through in the top 10 after crashing out in the qualifying session at Monaco. He may try to repeat that feat once again in the streets of Baku. We'll see what he can do. But times are about to start flowing in to the session and seeing if they can topple the timing sheets. Right now, the guy they're chasing is BRL Wraith in the 38.421 lap time he has set. 3/10, almost 4 ahead of Boss Gerbil in the the Aston Martin. 5/10 ahead of Swellersteam, Wraith is. And then you see a second back to Masterplane. It's close between Mozzie, Toneless, Palms for Lim. Mozzie actually retires. I believe that's in the pit lane as well. Purple Sector 2, briefly, for the McLaren of No Limit. Will he have anything to say for this? Red Bull up top. The delta gap between the mediums and the softs are not as varied here as they were a week ago in Monaco. Is this a chance for the mediums to go higher up right now? You have to start in the top 10 with the tires you qualified on. It's going to be a dry race. Will No Limit get into the top 10? Will he get into the top 5? Where will the McLaren be? P6.
Yeah, watching his onboard, he was struggling, in my opinion, through the whole castle section of that lap.
Yeah, I agree with that. He looks like he was a little bit on edge and a little bit hesitant going through, but let's going to see what he can do now. So Swellersteam started his firing lap. No Limit, will he go on one more, or will he stay with those mediums and P6? Toneless is going to start his flying lap in a couple seconds' time. Actually, he may be on a way to
Toneless
finish
is finishing his lap,
flying
followed
lap.
by... Holy cow.
Toneless goes up ahead of Mozzie.
Oh, sorry, that was Calzoner on an out lap.
Going to be a Red Bull. Is that going to be Palms for the win? Finishing his flying lap. No, it's not. It's going to be Wraith starting his flying lap.
Plane's not going to have enough time to get to the line. He's just going to miss it. So Plane's starting P4.
Checkered flag has
Chunky is finishing his lap. Kept it nice and clean through the lap. Just on board with him now. He's going to cross the line. He's going to go P10. Holy cow is going to be the next driver.
Yes, in the Mercedes. We'll see what he can do. He's
And
P11 at the moment. So now it's going to be up to Palms for the win. He's going through in turn 18 into 19. The Red Bull sitting P8 at the moment, 40.0. He's on those softs. He's going to try to do what he can do. And relegation to No Limit at 39.7 was his lap time on the mediums. He needs about 3/10. Can he get it? His teammates on pole. No Limit. He separates him right now. He still's ahead of him. Checkered flag flies. Palms for the win. Stays. P8. No Limit goes even faster. Up to P5. Another lap on those.
Swellersteam's invalidated his lap.
See what Wraith can do. Gerbil's going through into turn 16 in a couple seconds' time. Couple tenths off. Yellow flag. That's going to be through the final sector. Someone else is retired in the pit lane. Groggy has not set a time. He'll start P13. Calzoner going through. He's P12. Can he get a better lap right now? He's in the Mercedes. His teammates ahead of him. At 40.5 is his teammate's lap of Holy Cow. 40.7 for Calzoner. Can he get ahead of his Mercedes teammate? Yes, he can into P9. Can Bosch Gerbil get ahead of Wraith ahead of him? No, he can't. He gets close. About a tenth adrift. BRL Wraith behind him, though. Can he go even faster? Wraith goes even faster. 38.1. What a lap. Even 4/10 adrift once again. And that should be it through qualifying unless Toneless can do anything, which he cannot because he's backed out of his lap.
And I believe he's out of fuel again.
I believe so.
No, I take that back.
I saw him back out through turn 4, so I believe he was just backed out of his
Yeah,
lap.
his light is flashing on my screen. Sorry, I was saying.
Yes, that's true. as he goes back into the pit lane. We're going to go and see the finishing order for the qualifying session here at Baku as I try to pull up something. Qualifying is over. The streets of Baku has come and gone for qualifying, and now it's time to see how many drivers can traverse the streets of Baku. BRL Wraith, like he did in Monaco a week ago, he looks like he's mastered the qualifying laps at the street circuits. He's 2 for 2 so far. Wraith gets pole ahead of Botch Gerbil and Swillersteam. The Canadian second and third. Masterplane fourth alongside Lument, the row behind him, alongside Tone Limits in P6. Mozzie starts pumps the win in P8. Calzoner sits 9th. TTM Heatwave rounds out the top 10. Heatwave and No Limit will both start on the medium compounded tires. Chunky Snags, Holy Cow, Groggy Oregano, 11th, 12th, 13th. They have free choice of tire for the Grand Prix in a few moments' time. Well, like you said, it's going to be a dry race. I guess we were not given false information. Welcome along to the race here in round 6 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, and it's going to be a good one. Let's go look at the race director, the trusty friend, the race director. If you have a little bit of insight on a couple of the last seasons, you'll know exactly what that reference is to. BRL Wraith, once again, will start from pole with Josh Turbo and Swillersteam, second and third. The Canadian duo trying to go fight off Wraith and trying to go close in. Swillerstein trying to, I guess, extend the gap as Wraith tries to close in the gap. Masterplane will start 4th, with 5th being No Limit on those mediums. How fast can he move up? Remember, he was on those mediums a week ago, I believe. And Monaco, he made a pretty good start, had some damage, and had to pit once again. Mozzie ahead of Pumps for the win, 7th and 8th. Calzoner sits 9th. P10 Heatwave, he's on those mediums as well. Outside the top 10, like we said, Chunky Snags, Holy Cow, and Groggy Oregano have free choice of tire. Right now, they've all chosen the C4 medium compounded tire, and meaning they will start on those yellow wooled tires, but they have to satisfy those 2 out of 3 tire rules, meaning they have to go either to the hard compounded tire, which I doubt they'll go to. The hards have not been very good around here, or the C5 softs, and that's going to be something to look out for as we start the formation lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's go a quick little rundown through the points-paying position as we start the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, because I mentioned them. Let's mention them again as we'll go through the entire 20 as we have some chance. Swillersteam with 89 points in P1. Wraith sits P2 in the points, 14 points of Drift, 75 points. P3 being Botch Gerbil with 65 points. Toneless Death, 47 in 4th. Mozzie, 35 in 5th. No Limit, 34 in 6th. Heatwave sits 33 in 7th, with Tweaking not being here today as he is taking a leave for some personal reasons, which we are all with you. Tier 2 and the entirety of the Breakout Racing League are here to support you if you need it. With Chunky Snags being P6 with 16 points, Silkweaver being 10th with 15 points, once again not here today. Calzoner tied with Silkweaver in 11th with 15 points, with Masterplane behind him in 14th. Holy Cow in 13th, ironically with 13 points. Matt Silva is not here today. He has 12 points in 14th. Palms for the win sits with 10 points in 15th. Groggy Oregano has 3 points in 16th. DeBiz, who's not here today, and the Haas is P17 with 1 point. And yet to score is Ed Toronha, George, and Larson Fan. As we now go through, you have anything to say before this Azerbaijan Grand Prix hits off?
Who wants a popcorn? But no, I haven't seen Larson Fan all season, not if I can remember off the top of my head.
Yes, I don't think he has attended, but the drivers who have attended, they have already shown what they can do in the Tier 2 Championship, and now it's about to show what they can do even more. The second round of the street circuits, the 6th round of the championship. BRL Wraith, he wants to close in on the championship lead. Botch Gerbil, he's gone 2 for 2. Can he make it 3 for 3? Swillersteam, the championship leader, can he extend his gap? He needs to try to either do damage limitation to Wraith or extend his gap to Wraith. Masterplane, he wants to go and try to match his teammate. His teammate's gotten 2 wins He wants some of that action. No Limit wants to try to return to his pace and his paceful ways back in Baku in the early rounds of the season. He's dropped off a little bit, had a rough stretch. He wants to go and try to improve that. Toneless is fourth in points. He wants some points. He wants something good out of that Ferrari at Baku. Holy Cow and Groggy Oregano were both disqualified from the formation lap. Mozzie pumps for the win. Calzoner, Heatwave, Chunky Snags all want points. Some may be difficult than others, but some have a reverse strategy with No Limit, Heatwave, Chunky Snags, Holy Cow, and Groggy Oregano. As he now go to Chunky Snags, he'll be the last one to go up to his grid, but he will be ahead of Holy Cow and Groggy Oregano and 11th for the Williams. As we now cut from the onboard from the Williams to the onboard of the Red Bull. As we now go to look to the lights. The drivers are ready. The lights are on. It's lights out. And away we go for Baku, and it's a good start from the fourth place man. But look at that, 3 wide in the turn 1 around the outside. Sweller's going to go on the Aston Martin. He's going to stick his position in third. That's going to be Wraith ahead of Gerbil, ahead of Sweller. Ahead now, Astroplane's going down the inside. The Aston Martin's going to go for this move. He's going to try to make it work, but look at this. No Limit, he's on those mediums. He's had another great start. He's going to no challenge the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin down in the turn 3. Masterplane's going to go to the inside. Chunky Snags up a lot of positions. Around the outside once again. Sweller late on the brakes. He'll stay in third. Ahead of Masterplane in fourth. No Limit fifth. 6th Mozzie. 7th Toneless. Chunky Snags has gone up 3 positions from the start. He's up to 8th. Calzoner to 9th. Heatwave stays 10th. Groggy's over up position. Palms the win is down a couple on 13th.
Yeah, I was just on board going through those first couple of corners into turn number 4. Plane got a little bit too close to Sweller Stream, had to lock up that right front tire and lost a lot of time to Sweller. And No Limit gained on it, but couldn't make any ground up on him.
Well, looks like the drivers have got away fairly clean. It's definitely a little bit different than what happened in Tier 3 a day ago, I should say. BRL Wraith now 6/10 ahead of Boss Gerbil. They've both broken out of the DRS range. Of Sweller's team behind him, and Masterplane is out of the DRS range with the Alfa Romeo in front of him, but he still has that McLaren and on those mediums and P5 behind him, 6/10 adrift. Remember, you have to be within.
Plane had
What happened?
Big moment coming out of turn number 15, I believe.
Let's see, because he's now going to be under pressure from this McLaren with that DRS and a couple laps time. Not right now. You need to be within a second of the car in front. Right now, No Limit is, but he's not within those 3-lap window that you need to be, enabled for. That ERS to the bottom left, keep an eye on that. It's going to be difficult to recharge it here, so the drivers who use it more may have a little bit less in the rest of the Grand Prix because it's harder to recover. Holy Cow goes up past Groggy Oregano, battle for 11th as Holy Cow gets closer and closer to his teammate as Calzoner is sitting P9 right now. Look at that gap. And that scrap, Chunky Snags had a great start, by the way, up from a couple of positions.
Got past Chunky Snags. I mean, Heatwave was going to look for a move as well.
Yes, he is, down the inside. And he's going to get it basically done. Chunky Snags had a good start. He went up 3 positions from 11th, but unfortunately he could not keep it ahead of Calzoner and Heatwave. Calzoner on those softs, though, so it could be a tire advantage. Heatwave right now trying to look and trying to make up places and not to lose ground of the guys in front of him as they want to stay within the DRS of as many people as possible because you're going to get stuck here if otherwise not happening.
Yeah, I just noticed as well that Gerbil cut the gap. When I looked at it, it was 7/10 and it was 6/10. And now it's back up to 8/10 coming out of the castle section. So, wondering if Wraith is having some warm-up issues on these softs right now, and Gerbil is just capitalizing on it.
It could be the case. Remember, like I said, the battery, how much battery do these guys have? Well, that's going to be a big implication as Heatwave goes a little bit deep through into turn 15, into 16 now. It's going to be another chance of some overtaking. DRS is not enabled this time by, which is probably why Wraith may probably use a little bit more ERS than he would want to, trying to break that DRS over Boss Gerbil, because if he gets out of that DRS train, he's going to be safe, but don't look now. Calzoner may not need the DRS train. He's up the rear chuff of the Ferrari in front of him. Wraith gets the fastest lap. Here comes Calzoner to the left-hand side of the Ferrari. He's going to go for this move. He doesn't need ERS or DRS. Down the inside for turn 1. DRS is enabled. Once again, none active here. Down the inside, he's going to make the move stick. Pumps to the wins pits. A little crossover move looking for it. Cannot be done. Calzoner goes to 7th. Toneless sits back in 8th. A little bit of a lockup in the front tire, but look at the DRS. It's not going to be activated. How will Toneless fight back at this? Will he kind of sit here in 8th, or will he fight back at Calzoner? But now Heatwave is in this fight as well. Can he try to make for a move in the Italian Alpha Tauri on the Italian Scuderia Ferrari?
Yeah, jumping back and forth between Gerbil and No Limit here. They're the closest battle in the top 5, and neither one of them with DRS can make a move stick into turn 3.
Chunky Snacks is right close to the back of Team Heatwave, going through 5 and 6, and almost looked like he would make a move, but it looks like it's going to be too far back, because it's going to be really hard to make a move down into this castle section. Turn 7 into turn 8, 9, 10, 11 is right here. You see is oh, yellow flag. Who's gone off?
That is
Groggy Oregano. I believe it was Groggy. He may have spun around. I don't see any visual damage on the Alpine. Looks like he's managed it up and got it right in the great direction once again. Don't look now. I think No Limit may actually fancy a move on an Aston plane here. In the McLaren on that Aston Martin in front of him. Both have Mercedes-powered cars, but the McLaren Papaya Orange has a little bit more straight line speed in a realistic fashion. Well, how much is the wings difference between the two drivers? The medium tire compared to the soft tire. Well, look at the battery distance, 36% for No Limit, but he's going to go for this move, even though a little too far back on the mediums. Around the outside, look at Masterplane still fighting it. Almost contact with the barriers, but No Limit will stay ahead. Actually, will now get ahead into P4 on those medium compounded tires. Groggy looks like he did get some damage from that little bit of a spin and venture off track. He's going to go into the pit lane and pit off of those 3-lap mediums. Masterplane's going to be fighting behind. Looks like he's too far back.
Yeah, No Limit was just biding his time on these mediums, letting them warm up, letting those soft tires die out slowly as they are reaching their limit right now on these opening stints, doing those laps of quali and out laps and in laps.
Don't look now. I saw Masterplane struggling for grip on the exit of turn 4. This is around the time where the softs start to get a little bit lacking in grip. This could be where the mediums start picking up. Look out for Heatwave, for No Limit, for Chunky, for Holy Cow. Oh, Masterplane may have just hit the barrier there at turn 11. Heatwave gets past Calzona. I said look out for him. He's already up in position. We'll see what Masterplane. Did he get damage from that collision with the castle section barrier going in through turn 10 into 11?
I don't see any wing damage.
Right now it looks okay. We'll see what he does. Calzona goes down a couple more positions. He's now down to 10th. Toneless gets past him. Chunky Snags gets past him. What's happened to the Mercedes? Now Calzona gets past Chunky Snags once more. They're fighting for position. Let's go take a look at those two drivers. Down Calzona and Chunky Snags going through turn 16. Looks like Chunky gets ahead of the Mercedes ahead of him. But don't look now. His teammate behind him is going to go for this move. Oh, a little bit wide. And Calzona's now behind him. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any visual damage on Masterplane's car. I don't see any understeer into the corners. Maybe you just gave the wall a little left taps, just seeing how it was doing.
It could be the case.
Yeah, Gerbil, he's
Calzona may have hit the wall.
On Wraith, like you were saying, Wraith is having to use that little much more battery just to stay ahead of Gerbil, and Gerbil's just sitting behind him.
Well, to be fair, both drivers, actually, it's the inverse. Gerbil has used a significant amount of ERS. Right now, look at that, 38%, now 40, compared to Wraith, what it was a second ago was 75%. About 30% buffer is the Red Bull to the Aston Martin. How much is he willing to use? Wraith is just kind of biding his time, saving that energy deployment, which gives you up to about, 100 brake horsepower with application of that battery deployment. It is quite the, I guess, the buffer and the boost, if you may. Almost a certified push to pass in layman terms.
Yeah, I also just brought up the tire data. Groggy is on mediums again, and Calzona and Palms for the win put on the hards, so they are cleared to go to the end. Groggy is going to have to stop one more time.
Yes, he will. Groggy, once again, has started on those mediums. He cannot go medium to medium. He has to satisfy at least one of the two other tire choices outside of those C4s. He had to use those soft C5s or the hard C3s. Calzona and Palms for the win. They chose those hard C3s. Groggy's going to have, I guess, a choose-your-own-destiny kind of story. And whenever he comes into the pits next time, will there be a safety car?
Trying to say he was going into the pits, and Gerbil didn't even buy it.
Gerbil stays right behind him, trying to just bide his time, trying to, I guess, pretty much almost follow him. Plane does come in.
And I believe that is a front wing for Masterplane. Never mind, that is just a tire change. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Dribble again is
Dribble
close
kind of-
enough to Wraith, but he can't
Yeah.
make the move stick.
Just with that DRS, closes them up a little bit too far, I guess too much, to the point where he wants to go for a move and has to lock up his front tires to make sure he doesn't hit the back of that Red Bull in front of him, which, by the way, we could have a chance of I guess another repaint winner. Wraith has won 2 races. Gerbil has won 2 races. Only driver who's won 1 has been, I believe, Swiller Steam in the Alfa Romeo. So we could have a 3rd win for one of these drivers. You see Wraith is really struggling. He's really trying to make the most of these tires, and Bosch Gerbil just seems to have more grip right now in the Aston Martin. Could we see Wraith in this lap, and are we going to see Bosch Gerbil to follow behind him, or is he going to stay out for one more?
Beautiful camera angle right there from Cody's is the helicopter view coming through the castle section.
I don't even think he'll be behind him about that time to the straightaway. Here he goes, though. You see into the final couple of corners through 19 into 20 here. You see that highway of the Azerbaijani capital. You see how close these two are. Well, how close will they be at the end of the straightaway? DRS is active. Will Wraith come in? No, he tries to dummy once again. Like you said last lap, he'll stay out once more. Gerbil's not going to be close enough to go for a move on this occasion.
I'm wondering, Wraith has that straight line speed, even with Gerbil having DRS. He just can't make amends.
No, he can't, but he may be close enough this time. Could we possibly see an overtake? It looks like he's going to bide his time. Wraith kind of trying to rapidly break the slipstream a little bit. Mozzie's coming to the pits as well. He's gone on to the medium compounded tire. He's clear to the end of the Grand Prix. Can we see Mozzie and try to undercut? Master Plane gets ahead of that Alfa Romeo, and he's going to go up to P9. Speaking of the undercut, I guess if you are unaware of what the undercut versus the overcut is, I say it every week, but I say it once again. The undercut is when you pit ahead of the car in front of you, using that fresh grip and preferably clean air and no traffic to run faster lap times the guy you're racing against. In this case, let's say we'll put ourselves in the Bosch Gerbil's position. He would pit this lap and try to go and jump BRL Wraith. Well, Wraith would try the overcut, which he'll do the exact opposite. He'll use, hopefully banking on the guy behind him who's racing and pulling that undercut, will get some traffic behind him. He actually hits the wall he hits the wall again. He may not have to worry about traffic. I think Gerbil may have some front wing damage on both sides now.
I see a left end plate missing on Bosch Gerbil's end. He's struggling, yeah.
That is going to be significant damage. Look how far he's going to lose time through these couple of corners here. Through into 17, into 18, into 19. Look how much time he's lost. Half a tenth. Half a second. Sorry. Now he's up almost to about 3/4 of a second.
Yeah, but the on limit was slowly catching up to Sweller Stream as Wraith is in the pits. Sweller Stream is going to stay out. He's going to inherit the lead unless No Limit looks for a move. He's going to look for a move on the inside. Brakes late. A little bit of contact. Coming into turn 2, going into turn 3. No Limit doesn't have any ERS to play with. He gives him a little love tap. He's going to get the run. He's got DRS. He's not going to use ERS. No Limit is going to get the move done into turn number 3 before turn 3, and he's going to almost cover that off.
Well, I said watch out for
Wraith is going to look for a move on Heatway, Toneless, excuse me. And he sent it too deep. Wraith went in the runoff into turn number 3, and he's lost 3 positions because of that.
Does he have damage? Doesn't look like it. No visual. So the Rebel may be on the back foot right now. He's actually going to be behind. Actually, he's still going to be ahead of Master Plane. And since Bosch Gerbil had that front wing damage, he actually went on to the hards, by the way. So it looks like Wraith may actually still come out in front in the lead. But how much damage that did to his medium compounded tire, we'll have to come and see in the later stages of the lap, because the tire wear is going to be detrimental. So that these drivers in the later stages of the race, it could pretty much make or break your race, because, I mean, depending on when you pit, obviously this is a no-brainer at any other track. But for Baku, it seems like once you hit that cliff, it's immediate. Some other tracks you may be okay to nurse the tires and kind of keep a little bit of life in them. But it seems at Baku, it's almost instant. If you stretch the tires too much, you lose all kind of grip in them. Trust me, I know from experience.
And Chunky Snags is on the back of Toneless Death right now. Toneless has to box this lap. Sweller's boxing this lap, so he's cleared probably to go to the end. Chunky is going to use that ERS with the DRS. Toneless is going to stay out. Chunky is going to get the move done before turn number 1 on the straight.
Oh, he almost goes a little bit too deep. Look at Toneless. He's going to try to fight back this going into turn 3, but he's going to let it go and stay in P4. I was going to say Chunky's move was a little bit too easy, quite, I guess, the opposite of what happened in Monaco, where it seemed almost you had to be Superman to go and overtake around the Principality. Well, Chunky breezed past that Ferrari of Toneless going into turn 1.
Yeah, now there's a train from P3 all the way back to P7 with Plane and then Gerbil back there 3 seconds and just from his teammate. Going along both of the Alfa Romeos, as Sweller is just ahead of his teammate Mozzie.
That one fresher lap tire, how much will that do? But once again, Bosch Gerbil, he was up into P2, by the way, before he pitted. He was chasing down BRL Wraith before that collision with the wall. He chose the hards, but look at Wraith. He's going to go for a move. I don't know if I agree with this. Around the outside of the castle section. Backs out of it.
That was a little bit dangerous, if you ask me.
We saw a crash almost exactly like that and realistic, where unfortunately the
Wraith
driver on the outside in Wraith position.
He's
going to go for it again.
Move.
Is there enough space? No, he backs out of it once more. He'll go for it this time, though, into turn 16. This time he should have it. Yes, he does, ahead of Holy Cow in the Mercedes, but this is going to hurt him. Now he's out of DRS range. The guys behind him, Masterplane included, because he's now racing the Red Bull of Wraith, will have the DRS on the Red Bull driver. Holy Cow almost loses the car, hits the wall. Now he gets passed by Masterplane. Masterplane's not going to be in the DRS, in the ERS. Wraith trying to avoid the slipstream, break it, do the best he can to get out of it. And you see Toneless in front of him, pitting in the inside. Here comes the Aston Martin. Masterplane, he's going to go to the right-hand side. Wraith goes defensive, almost on the curb, around the outside. The Masterplane's going to try to go for it. He's just not going to have the amount of pace and amount of grip around the outside lane of turn 1, and that's going to mean Wraith is staying ahead. But who has the DRS this time? Wraith still ahead and forward. Masterplane has the DRS. He has little to no ERS, within 10%. He has the DRS. Looks like he may be too far back. Wraith goes defensive and will stay in P4.
Catcher, question. On that straight last lap, was that a double move by Wraith?
I am unaware. It may have been. I'm not really sure. But look at this, though. Sweller down the inside of Holy Cow. He's going to make that work into turn 5 and 6.
Yeah, Holy Cow is struggling on those mediums right now, it seems. Dribbles going to run in the back of him. Whoa, that was close.
Let's take a look at those drivers down. Aston Martin, I see that's the first one. There's the second one. You see almost on the back and the rear wing of Holy Cow. But back to what you were saying about the double move. You're allowed to break the slipstream up to 2 times. But once the driver goes within a decent amount, which around Baku is, pretty close. Actually, it's decently far away, to be fair, because the slipstream is pretty powerful here. You have to then choose a line and stick with it. And I believe he chose that inside line, thus he went defensive, and I think that move will stand. I'm not sure. No Limit's going to come into the box. Lap 9, that's a little early off those mediums. He may try on the hards. You see Bosch Gerbil is a little bit understeer through turn 19. He's going to go to the right-hand side of Holy Cow, and the Mercedes needs to go down the inside and basically get through on that straightaway. A very easy move for the Aston Martin. 41.8, fastest lap for BRL Wraith. He's already up to P2. Chunky Snags gets overtaken by him in the Williams, and now puts Masterplane up to 4th. 5th, Sweller's team, who actually, by the way, has the freshest tires, and he has a really good chance of catching up to the likes of Wraith if he can stay out of trouble. He's actually going to go, he's going to get overtake. Here we go! Right-hand side. Sweller's team on a Masterplane. Outside it was going to happen. Around the, wow, that's very, very deep on the brakes for Sweller's team. He's going to get around Masterplane in that braking zone alone. That was very impressive from the the Alfa Romeo there.
I'm wondering if Wraith, I say this every week almost, I'm assuming, but I'm wondering if Wraith is using his tires a little bit too early in this stint.
It's, like I said, it's, the mediums are a really good race tire here, but you can take a lot out of them too quickly, causing your tires to, definitely be on the back foot, and, the second-hand nature of them, come the later ends of the stint. So if he is using the tires too much, how much is Sweller's team using them? You saw how late he was in the brakes at turn 3. How much is the Alfa Romeo using him right now? Because if he's using him the same as Wraith, it may be a stalemate, but if he's saving him and Wraith is pushing like you think he is, it could be down to how far Sweller's team can get. If Wraith's tires dies out, well, I know he's going to chase after Chunky Snags and the Williams, and this time it may not be as easy a defense for Chunky Snags as it was a couple weeks ago, actually. When Sweller's team did this again, here comes the left-hand side with the DRS. He doesn't even have to use ERS. Wraith grabs the fastest lap, 41.62 tenths quicker than the fastest lap ago. He may be pushing a little too much. Yellow flag, Groggy Oregano. VSC, virtual safety car. Groggy has lost his entire front wing. And I believe in the exit, is it going to be a full safety car? We've seen a lot of them. Statistically, in the last 3 realistic Grand Prix, I'm sorry, not realistic, Azerbaijan Grand Prix, we've had more than 3 safety cars. We've had 3 in Tier 3. I believe you said 5 in Tier 4 and 5 in realistic. So we could have a safety car here. It's not out of the question. It's definitely different than it was in Monaco a week ago. Looks like it may stay a VSC.
Which is surprising, because in the Tier 4 race, it went from a VSC to a full safety car.
Yes, I had the same experience in Tier 3, actually. I was pitting in Groggy's position, and I just see the safety car pass me in the pit lane. And, well, you're not racing the safety car, so that was very unsettling to say the least. And, well, it was a possibility to be upgraded from a VSC to a full safety car. It looks like it will not, unless there's any other debris that we can see. So Heatwave now reads from Wraith about 5.5 or so seconds back. Ahead of Sweller's team, who's about 3.7 back in the Alfa Romeo. Chunky Snags is yet to pit once again with TTM Heatwave. They have both yet to stop from their medium compounded tires, which they started on. Masterplane from 5th. No Limit ahead of Boss Gerbil, 6th, 7th, both on the hards. No Limit has actually stopped. DRS enabled, so there's not going to be a full safety car. So Masterplane is going to be, in prime position here to go past Chunky Snags with that DRS. How much has they overheated the tires? Groggy Oregano's around again, but here comes Masterplane on Chunky Snags. He's going to the right-hand side. He doesn't even need DRS. He was going to have it to his advantage anyway. He's going to get past the Williams of Chunky Snags, but Chunky Snags is now going to get the DRS. He's now going to fight back the Williams driver. He's going to look for it, but stays behind the Aston Martin of Masterplane. Smart thinking from the Williams. Don't need to race someone who's not on the same strategy as you. 5.8, that's the gap between Heatwave and Wraith. How much will that close in the next couple of laps? Holy Cow has pitted off his mediums. 11 laps on him now. He's now going to go to either the hards or the softs. Toneless Death has pitted as well. He may have had some damage. He was on 1 lap old mediums, now 2. He's not going to have to switch off, I believe, onto the hards as well. So a lot of drivers actually using the hards. I predicted against it in the qualifying session. I said a lot of guys may not use the C3s. I was wrong.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, depending on what they have for tire wear, too, they may also, as Thomas is pitting again. I wonder if that was for a wing change.
May have been.
No Limit is
right on the back of
Chunky, yeah. Watch Gerbil is in this fight, too, in P7. So, as always, Aston Martin is going to bring home some decent points for the team.
See how much they're willing to go for this. You see No Limit on those hards. Once again, these guys are going to the end of the Grand Prix. Chunky's yet to stop. So, Chunky's not on the same strategy as these guys, meaning how hard will he fight? You saw he stayed behind Masterplane a lap ago whenever he had that DRS and the space to go for that move. So he may not fight this very much. How much aggression is willing to shown from No Limit and Bosch Gerbil. Both these guys are really close to each other. We actually may see a double slipstream from Bosch Gerbil. Here he goes through.
Wow, he's got to look at the slipstream.
Straight. They may go 3 wide here. Another boxing him in. This isn't NASCAR, guys. You can't bump draft. No Limit's going to be ahead of Bosch Gerbil now, and Chunky Snags is going to go down both positions. Don't look now. Here comes Bosch Gerbil down the inside of No Limit.
Oh, no!
Oh, big collision. Was there enough space left by No Limit? Did Bosch Gerbil clip that inside curb and that wall on his own accord? Regardless, this has been detrimental to his race. No safety car, by the way, meaning he's going to have to go all the way around this 6-kilometer circuit with no front wing.
Well, good news is he can throw on a set of mediums, and he can definitely make it to the end on those. Softs are not advisable from here, as you will most likely get a puncture. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Chunky is just in a mind race of his own at the moment. I think if he pitted, I think the delta around here is 23 seconds. I could be wrong.
Something around those lines.
But Chunky would come out just behind Palms for the win, if not Calzoner.
So that could be a good enough, I guess, gap for him. But don't look now, by the way. I know it's not for, I guess, real position on track since Heatwave is just at the top, but Wraith is within DRS range now of Heatwave. Actually is going to get the DRS on the sister car. Both Hondas going 1-2. Heatwave ahead of Wraith. He's going to be too far back this time, but look how much battery Wraith has used trying to catch the Alpha Tauri of Heatwave, trying to imply that maybe there could have been a safety car. Well, Wraith may try to go for this move down into turn 3. He has the fresher tires. He has the grip. He has the DRS. He's going to have the ERS. He's not going to use it. To the right-hand side of the sister car, the Alpha Tauri to the left-hand side is now going to be behind the Red Bull in front. Wraith now leads once again from Heatwave in second, who's yet to stop. Gerbil does come along and survives the 6-kilometer track without a front wing. It's 18 seconds, according to Zach. Yellow flag. I believe Groggy may have actually had a moment in the castle section. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed. With an intact wing, from what it seems.
Impressive. He may have some damage, but it looks like he hasn't lost. Oh, whoa. Big crash. He's actually out of the Grand Prix.
That's a questionable collision and DNF, if you ask me.
And that's huge, by the way. Wraith got past Heatwave before this safety car came out, meaning Wraith now can pit for another set of mediums, go to the end of the Grand Prix. Heatwave is stuck having to pit on those hards. You see, there is the Alpine out of the Grand Prix. And the, actually, I said, before the entry, I guess, really, of turn 14 there. So Heatwave, what was he going to do? He's going to be hards because he may have to, or he could try to stretch the softs. If the safety car comes in around maybe lap 18, 19, he could try to stretch the softs that long. It may be hard, but he can make it at least. Sweller,
Chunky could do the same thing, too.
That's true. So this may have actually saved Heatwave and Wraith and put them in contention for a victory here, which otherwise they probably wouldn't have thought.
Well, also, we have to remember, Katra, Heatwave also did qualifying on those medium tires.
Yes, he did. He cannot use another set. He has to go either to hards or to softs. So which one is he going to choose?
$5 says softs.
This looks like softs. Well, you got it.
Perfect. What about Chunky?
He may choose the softs as well.
Sweller Stream stayed out.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, this really brings Botch Gerbil back into it. You know, running P2 at the beginning, then having that wing damage down to P7, as Mozzie was on the softs as well.
Mozzie, yeah. Ozzy's taking a gamble here. He knows that Chunky and Heatwave's going to be on those tires. Why not try it as well? Pops the Lin goes softs. Calzoner to the medium. Holy Cow may try to pit for the medium as well. You see he crossed the start-finish line on those hard. Same with Holy Cow. Mediums for both Mercedes.
It's kind of funny. I was just on board watching Botch Gerbil and Toneless Seth. They were battling each other under the safety car, both using their ERS. So a little bit of a friendly game here in Tier 2 underneath the safety car.
I don't know if I would say friendly using ERS under the safety car. It may be friendly right now.
Well,
but
they're
I mean, you're
friendly
gonna be
racing
kicking
each
yourself
other,
for using
not
it.
pushing each
Yeah.
other into the walls. Friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
A
little bit of an update now, I guess, if you're now just tuning in to the race. Well, we've had 16 laps. 15 has been completed. We're now on lap 16. This is now the first safety car, so I guess I wasn't wrong. There was definitely a safety car. It had a high chance of happening. It's happened a little bit later than expected. We've had a couple of lead changes, but most laps have been led by Heatwave and Wraith, both of the Honda-powered cars. Wraith ahead of Heatwave. Heatwave started outside the top 10. Actually, I believe he started P10, sorry, on the set of medium tires, which he had lasted all the way up to his pit stop a lap ago. But now he sits behind Swillersteam, who stayed out under the safety car. So it's going to be Swillersteam ahead of Wraith, ahead of Heatwave right now, the provisional podium Master Plane, ahead of No Limit, ahead of Mozzie, Chunky, Palms to Lin, Toneless, and Botch Gerbil, who has been the biggest up and down mover so far in the race from almost, I guess, from leading the Grand Prix and challenging for that win down to 10th after a couple of mishaps. Then you see Calzone, holy cow, in 11th and 12th. We've lost Groggy Oregano, causing this safety car and the exit of turn 13 into the entry of turn 14. So now the gloves are off. It's going to be with around 10 laps to go. Less than that when the safety car comes back in. Do you think the softs can make it? I think they can. I don't know how productive they'll be.
It's going to be tight. They might be dead at the end of the stint.
It's possible.
Yep.
But I can definitely tell you for a fact it is going to be very, very difficult for Swellerstein to hold on. And I'm saying that as a driver who was in his shoes a day ago, ironically in the same car, in the same position, like to a T. The tires are not going to hold on to the extent he needs to push them. Because Wraith has fresh tires. No laps on his tires right now, and they're going to be minimal wear. He can push flat out for the couple of laps he needs and make that the mediums last with as much grip as they need and use it all. Sweller is going to start with about 7-8 laps old on his mediums. A lot of that grip's already going to be gone. Now it's just going to be holding on to it. How much can he do it? But he has to make this move because he wasn't going to get ahead of Heatwave. He wasn't going to get ahead of Wraith. He's going to have to make this move, but I don't know how productive it will be. He needs another safety car. A lot of guys pitting onto the softs again for this move to work out, but I think it's not going to work out right now. We'll have to see because the safety car should come in this time by. Everyone, all 12 drivers are in the queue and should be ready to go restart here at Azerbaijan for round 6, the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, and it's going to be a fun one. It's already had a lot of action, a lot of drama, and a lot of overtaking. Thankfully, not as many crashes as in the last couple of Grand Prix. And, well, safety car, once again, is in this lap. We'll look at Swellerstein and see what he can do in the Alfa Romeo as he's trailed by BRL Wraith in the Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see on how much he backs up the field, because I know in Tier 4, and I don't know if this was the same in Tier 3, but as soon as it came up saying safety car in this lap, the field got backed up before turn number 17.
It was sort of. It was based on really a couple drivers had a different couple preferences. Looks like now Sweller is going to try to take as long as he needs to make sure and limit the amount of slipstream.
Wraith
But look at Wraith. He's going to try to go up, but Sweller's already gone. But look now, that McLaren's looking pacey, but look at this Aston Martin down the inside. Masterplane went for a move, and it almost worked out on Heatwave.
Gerbil's going to get the move done on Toneless in the back. There's a lot of action in the back.
No Limit's trying to move on Masterplane for fourth. He's going to try for it again. The McLaren is going to look to the inside. Masterplane almost goes defensive, almost collides with the McLaren. Down the inside, the McLaren goes into turn 3. Side by side, the two Mercedes-powered cars. The McLaren ahead of the Aston Martin. Now goes to fourth for No Limit, fifth for Masterplane. Now we're going to chase after Heatwave in third. Wraith still behind Swellerstein. Going defensive, here comes Wraith. Is he going to go for this move? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. Backs off. Swellerstein's going to have to try and do the best he can to hold Wraith at bay. But how long can he do it? We'll have about 17 laps completed, 9 laps to go. We'll hit 8 as we hit the strike. We'll have Swellerstein ahead of Wraith, ahead of Heatwave, No Limit, Masterplane, Mozzie, Chunky, pumps to the win. Bus Gerbil, Calzone are your top 10. Toneless, holy cow, outside. We've lost Cargy Oregano before the safety car came out. Well, now, how much tire, like I said, does Sweller have left? 7 lap older tires than the Wraith behind him on those mediums. Don't forget, T-Team Heatwave has those softs, but he's under pressure from the McLaren behind him. No Limit is absolutely flying on those mediums. He's already overtaken Masterplane, who started on the same tires and pitted on the same lap as him. Well, now, No Limit's going to try to go and overtake T-Team Heatwave. He needs to get this move done before DRS happens, because if he does not get this move done, he may never do it. But don't look now. Here comes these two. Right-hand side, Heatwave's going to go for, not Heatwave, Wraith's going to go for this move. Almost contact. Wraith's going to run the outside of turn 1. And he's going to make it work on Swellerstein. He knew he had to. Now he has to break the slipstream. Masterplane, 3-second time penalty. Heatwave, almost around. That's going to be how round goes. No Limit, though. Heatwave saves it, keeps it out of the barriers. But I believe that's going to lose not only first, second, or chance of third. It may have even lost him a chance of fourth. Mozzie now goes up to fourth in the Alfa Romeo. Now puts second and fourth for the Alfa Romeo team. Masterplane is not the Aston Martin we thought would be up there on the podium after what Boss Gerbil, speaking of him, he now trying to fight Chunky Snacks for P7. It's not the one we thought would happen. We now have an Aston Martin on the podium once again. Oh, big crash. Boss Gerbil's out of the race. And the Mercedes of Holy Cow was tagged as well.
Another safety car.
Safety car again. You were there. What happened?
Trying to remember. So Gerbil and Chunky went side by side in turn number, I believe it's 5 and 6. And Gerbil saved it, got collided again, it hit the wall, and then he just died. And then Holy Cow spun all on his own.
That is very, very unfortunate for that Aston Martin. He had a lot of pace and a lot of chance to go and chase after BRL Wraith and make it a 3rd time in a row. Because remember, he won Spain, he won Monaco, he had a chance to win Azerbaijan. It's not going to come to fruition today. So now Wraith now leads once again. Safety car is going to be the 2nd one of the day. And yes, you did, Grog. You definitely made this race go into chaos. Does Sweller's team stop here? Wraith does.
Ooh,
Never mind, Wraith doesn't. Sweller's team doesn't as well. Masterplane comes in. Mozzie stays out. Same with Heatwave. Pops for the win stays out as well. Calzoner, is he going to come in? Yes, he is. The Mercedes comes in. No Limit stays out. I don't know if he has damage or not. And that's going to be everyone else coming in. Toneless, Chunky, Holy Cow all come in. How many of them have damage? We'll have to figure out and see. Masterplane goes on the softs. Toneless is going to go on the softs as well. I believe I saw a Mercedes wing change.
Yep, Calzoner had a wing
yes,
change.
It is.
Both Mercedes are having a wing change.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, not only is he going to have to...
I take that back. Holy Cow just had a tire change.
They double stacked.
Yes.
Yes, so that's going to hurt the Mercedes, but then again, he was always going to be around that position anyway. I'm not sure why Calzoner went on the mediums. He may have not had another set of softs. So this race is not going to come down to, I guess, a last-minute stint kind of battle. I'm not sure how Swellow's team's going to have to hold these guys off. Mozzie, Heatwave pumps the win all on those softs. Does Heatwave have any sort of damage? He may have a chance to have some rear wing damage. How hard did he hit that wall in turn 3? Pumps for the win. 5-second time penalty collision with no limit. And same with Masterplane, I believe has that 3-second already. Those two are the only two with penalties so far. So, well, I guess this is going to turn into a race of attrition after all. I'm not sure exactly here, though. Once again, I keep saying this, but I'm not too convinced that Swiller's going to have a good chance, depending on how many safety cars we have. We've had a surplus of at least 3 in the last couple of Grand Prix. To be exact, 3. We've had 5 in tier 4, 3 in tier 3, and 5 in realistic. I'm not going to count Formula 2 because it was a, well, technically it's different, I guess, regulations in a sense. But the last 3 Grand Prix at Azerbaijan has had at least 3 safety cars, with 3 being what happened in Tier 3. We've had 2 so far, and I do not think there's a chance of another one unless it's going to be a quick one. So, meaning, I think the softs may prevail here, because Sweller has those 10-lap-old mediums. It's going to restart, I believe, next time. But I will restart with at least 5 laps to go. So, at least, well, I think we'll have 6 at the strike, because once again, we now started lap 21. 20 has been completed. We'll have 6 to go this lap. So we will restart at least with 5 laps to go, meaning the safety car has at least 1 or 2 laps to come out, so it needs to be an early safety car if it's going to happen. Otherwise, it's going to be all-out brawl to the end. It's going to be Wraith, it's going to be Sweller, Mozzie, Heatwave, No Limit. How much damage does he have? If he has any at all for the collision with TTM Heatwave, same thing can be applied for the AlphaTauri. Does he have any rear wing damage on that AlphaTauri? Pumps to the win. He has that time penalty. Will that be applied? Does he have any front wing damage from that time penalty? Masterplane has a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits and track extensions. That may hurt him in his position as well. Toneless on fresh softs. Chunky on fresh softs. Calzoner on fresh medium. Holy Cow on fresh softs. It's all going to start happening now.
Better get your popcorn ready, folks. It's going to be a wild one.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
I always want popcorn when I do these races. It makes me so, excited.
I may actually have to take up on that offer and make some popcorn between the tier 2 and tier 1 race and have some fun with Minchie. Just throw popcorn at the screen.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like the circus animals, just throw them at them. You know?
Just like throw it at your TV, and then you'd be like, man, now I gotta
Yeah.
clean that up. Don't advise doing that,
Nah.
folks. Bad idea. I know from past experiences.
You know, you're also talking to the one who tried to open a soda bottle with a
Well,
pair
I
of
thought we
pliers.
weren't bringing that up.
Hey, I'm the one that did it. I don't know why you're not wanting to bring it up.
I literally was gonna say I advised doing that, but you went ahead and did it, and you just freaked out. I'm like, well.
Well, it was fun.
and
So
for folks
it
who
gave a
don't
little bit
know-
of adrenaline for the race.
Before we did the Tier 2 Chinese Grand Prix commentary, Catcher decided to open up, what was it, a 12 fluid ounce can of soda
Yes.
with a pair
that's
of
correct.
pliers. And before I could
didn't
say
go well.
anything, it didn't go well.
It did not go well at all. Well, hopefully for these drivers, the rest of this race will go well. I'm not saying open a can of soda with pliers, by the way. Do not do that. It causes quite a big mess. I do not advise it. For these drivers, though, they're going to try to advise any kind of move they can. Safety car is going to come in this lap. It's now to the discretion of Wraith and the Red Bull. We've had, I believe, this is now the second safety car restart. The first one was led by the other Honda of GTM Heatwave in the Alpha Tauri. Now it's going to be with BRL Wraith. Actually, I'm sorry,
no,
it was
it was
Swiller, not
actually
Heatwave.
Swiller Stream who led the other safety
Yes.
cars. Wraith is away.
That's what I meant to say. Well, now he's gone. Sweller's team has
Look
that
at
time, but look
Heatwave.
at this. Heatwave's almost pushing him, but No Limit's there too. Now into turn 1. Around the inside, around the outside is going to be the Alfa Romeo. He's going to hold it there. Mozzie going to try it for this move. Heatwave stays up to P3. Now look at this. Here comes No Limit down the inside of turn 2. He's going to make that move. Mozzie hits the barriers. Palm for the win's going to have a little bit of incentive and try to go get that Alpha Tauri in that P5 position. Once again, Palms for the win has a 5-second time penalty. Will that be removed? We'll have to figure that one out. Down the inside, looks for the move. Cannot get it. Mozzie will stay P5 at the moment. No Limit's going to try to make this move on Heatwave. They've already come together once this race. Hopefully they don't do it anymore. 4 laps to go. We'll come to 3 as we hit the line next time. I'm sorry. We'll come to 4 as we hit the line this time. Next time will be 3 laps to go. So, it's going to be now or never. DRS will enable in about a couple laps time. We'll have 2 laps with DRS. You need to get out of it. Right now, Wraith is doing exactly what he needs. 1.5 seconds. That's the gap between him and Sweller's team, and this is helping him. With Sweller's team being on those 12 lap mediums, his tires are coming to the end of their lifespan, and they're about little to no grip left on those C4s. Oh, No Limit almost loses it. The exit of turn 13, and that was almost going to be a huge crash once again. That could have been a safety car that Sweller's team needed. We're going to go down into turn 15, and, well, it's now or never for these overtakes.
Yeah, and Wraith is just pulling away on sheer pace as Chunky snags at a moment. As he's missing a right
He's got it
end
back going.
plate. I don't know. I saw Calzone drop as well. He doesn't have any visual damage.
They may have come together, but here comes these 3. Sweller's team trying to break the slipstream. GTM Heatwave behind him. He's on the button. He has 50% ERS. He has the fresher tires. He has the slipstream. He's going to go to the right-hand side. And Sweller's team to the left. And that's going to be late braking for the Alpha Tauri on the outside of the Alfa Romeo. Did he make it in time? Yes, he did. Oh, Sweller's team almost loses it. The exit of turn 1. He'll lose not only second, but third as well. Now, No Limit's going to be the back of Heatwave. DRS is not enabled this lap. It'll be enabled next time. Oh, whoa. Yellow flag. That's going to be Chunky out of the race.
Yeah, retired in the pits by the rules.
Yes, all good. Well, now 2.2 seconds. Is that enough? We have about 4 laps left for Heatwave to go catch after Wraith, but those softs are going to be towards the end of their, I guess, life stint. So how much will he be able to gain on him? Well, we have No Limit behind him to, I guess, pretty much pound the pressure on. We have No Limit, we have Heatwave, we have Wraith, we have Sweller's team, Palms for the win, top 5. Mozzie, Master Plane, Toneless, Holy Cow, and Calzone. Everyone will score points. That's going to be, if you make it to the end of the Grand Prix, we have 4 laps to go. A lot of drivers want to get past them. Look at that train. From 5th on down to 8th position, with Toneless Death being the last one in that train. But right now the gap from 1st to 2nd, 2.1 seconds. Wraith from Heatwave. Heatwave on those softs, the reverse strategy. From the medium to soft, he's going to try the best he can to close in, but how much tire does he have left? No Limit's going to be rarely ahead of Sweller's team. Sweller's team's going to try to go for this move if he ever gets a chance, but he needs the DRS first. He knows it's crucial. 40% battery. That's around the same as No Limit. He needs this DRS. It's not going to be enabled this time. It's going to be enabled next time. He needs to get a good exit at the exit of turn 1 to even have a chance down into turn 3. Master Plane ahead of Mozzie. That 6th place now goes to the Aston Martin ahead of the Alfa Romeo, but he may not be done yet.
Mozzie's
Here
fighting
comes
back.
these two going for it.
No
The right-hand side and through.
Wave.
Well, Masterplane's going to go for this move again. Down in the turn 1, they had to switch the positions 3 times to straightaway. Look at this, now going to be on board from Toneless Death. Look at these two still side by side. Masterplane grabs the better advantage, and he's going to get ahead of Mozzie in 6th for the Aston Martin, 7th for the Alfa Romeo. No Limit is going to be close to the back of TTM Heatwave. It's going to be close enough. He's going to go for this move down the inside. Heatwave going to be late on the brakes, and that's going to be No Limit down to P3 once again. He does not be able to change that position for the McLaren to his better liking. 3 seconds from Heatwave to Wraith. It looks like Wraith's going to survive. He just needs to hold on for a couple more laps, and to be exact, 3 more laps. Don't look now. These two battling has put Swillersteam into the mix, even though he's on about 7 lap older tires than these guys combined. Yeah, well, we'll see what these can do, because Heatwave, remember, is on those softs. How much tire life is left? Heatwave, look at him, kind of struggling through that castle section. He needs all the grip he has. The tires are just not letting him. No Limit's pushing pretty hard, too. He's had a couple of spins and half spins, trying to go and try to push as hard as he can for the Papaya Orange McLaren. Almost pushing TGM Heatwave through turn 12 into 13, 14, almost pushing him into 15. No Limit's going to try to keep on, but now DRS is enabled. This is going to be the do or die for the McLaren. Does he go for this move now? Use the DRS, but he has to look out, because Swellersteam's equally behind him. Swellersteam may get a good tow from not only No Limit, but from Heatwave as well. 4.4 seconds. Wraith is going to improve and keep going. He may have a chance to improve and, I guess, decrease the championship lead. It was 14 points. As it stands, it will be a whole 13-point gain. Put it down to 1 point with now being... It will be tied with the fastest lap. Look at that now. Heatwave down to 3rd. No Limit gets ahead of him in the Alfa Tauri, and that's going to put Alfa Romeo's Swellersteam now on the back foot. Can he catch up to Heatwave in 3rd? Right now, this is all about the championship battle. Because if Wraith grabs these 26 points, Swellersteam will grab these 12. That'll put a 14-point gain. It'll be tied going into Canada a week from now, which is Swellersteam's home Grand Prix, by the way. That'll be pretty crucial. If he wants this championship to thrive, he needs to win at home, because Wraith is going to want to do the same.
Yeah, Wraith is using a considerable amount of ERS just trying to pull away. I believe he's just over 50%. As these guys behind him are just under 20, no, 30%. I don't have my telemetry up, so I'm just shooting numbers in the dark here.
Well, don't look now. With all this battling, it may not be even certified for Sweller if he can have it if Heatwave doesn't lose it. Because look behind him, Palms to the win in the other Red Bull. His teammates leading the Grand Prix. Palms wants a good chance at his podium. He's now P5. He's now going to be putting Sweller under pressure. Palms has that 5-second time penalty that could possibly be, I guess, taken away via the Stewards portal. Well, it's going to come down to that time in a few moments' time.
Heatwave is outside of No Limit's DRS.
That's going to be huge.
But then again, he still has the slipstream, so how much is that going to help him going down the straight? Oh, now he's within a second.
He may have it.
Oh, this is nobody
stuff right there. I think that's it. I think he has it.
And you were correct.
He does.
Just barely has it. As Wraith sets another fastest lap.
Well, we now go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix here in Azerbaijan in the streets of Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix Round 6, the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, and it's all coming down to the wire. Not for first. Wraith has a 6-second advantage on No Limit in the McLaren, but it could come down to the wire for 3rd. Look at Heatwave. He's now almost within that DRS range again of No Limit. Swellersteam's around the same place, but he's now under pressure for Palms to the win, half a second back. That Red Bull's going to want to try to grab as much positions as he can. He wants more points. He wants his team to do better. He wants to grab a 4th position and take that away from Swellersteam, because if he can get that 5-second time penalty removed, this will put Wraith actually ahead of Sweller in the championship fight. Not even tied. It'll be ahead of him by about 2 points. That'll be big going into Canada. It could pretty much make or break the championship, how Swellersteam or Wraith recovers. Remember, Wraith has had a couple of bad Grand Prix. He wants a good one. It's been a couple of days since the last time a Red Bull has won here. It happened in Realistic with Zach the Beast. It was a 1-2 for Red Bull. Unfortunately for them and the constructors, it's not going to be a 1-2 now. Well, thankfully for the constructors, Red Bull, they're 39 points back. Their driver, BRL Wraith, is 14 points back. Well, as a driver, the best thing you can do is just drive your race. Be the best you can. Be as aggressive as you can. Well, no one simplifies aggression more than BRL Wraith. He comes around turn 20 for the final time down the highway that is in Baku Street Circuit. He won a couple weeks ago. He won at China. Well, now he'll win at Baku. It took him a while, but he got it. Wraith wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for his 3rd win of the season. No limit. He'll come home to finish P2. TTM Heatwave will grab a podium. Sweller's team will grab 4th position. Bombs for the win, grabs 5th on track, but the 5-second time penalty put him down to 6th. Toneless Death goes to 5th. Mozzie to 7th. Holy Cow to 8th. Masterplane is going to come home after what could have been in 9th. And Calzoner, 40 seconds back. He'll come home, even though he doesn't want to, I guess, remember this Grand Prix. He'll still come home with 1 point, which would actually put him, I believe, ahead of Silkweaver in the championship fight, which is crucial for his championship hopes this season.
Yeah, definitely a race to remember for most of these guys.
Definitely a race to remember indeed, and that's not really, well, it's an understatement for some guys. Well, Team Heatwave, that's one of the guys that definitely would like to remember this race for the most part, except for a couple points like qualifying and what happened between him and No Limit. But once again, he did it in Bahrain, he did it in China. Well, he wins in Baku for Red Bull, and the Honda power unit, well, that's one thing he wants to go back to winning ways. He's done it in Baku.
Yeah, he had a tough couple of races there, Monaco, and I think the last race was Portugal? No, Spain.
Where?
No, I can't remember. Anyways, I wasn't here for one of the Tier 2 commentaries, as I was going to see the new Bond movie. Regardless, Wraith controlled the race, P1 qualifying, P1 in the race to finish. No Limit in P2 and Heatwave in P3. Definitely driver of the day in my books.
Yep, from 10th up to 3rd, 7th positions gained, and it definitely didn't come easy as, well, there was contact up and down the grid. But once again, BRL Wraith will win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, his 3rd win of the season, with No Limit in 2nd. And it was been a while, but ever since that first couple of a little bit of a rough stretch, he's now got a podium, and hopefully that can turn the tides around. Team Heatwave grabs P3 and a podium for Alpha Tauri ahead of Sweller's team in the Alfa Romeo. Toneless in 5th, Palms to win 6th, with Mozzie in 7th for the Alfa Romeo team. Holy Cow, Masterplane, and Calzone around the top 10. We lost Chunky Snags, Bosch Gerbil, and Groggy Regano in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We could have a change of championship next time we go into Canada. Alright, if you can get No Limit in here, we'll get the podium interview started for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Alright, let's see if we can get him in. If not, we'll just go to P3 and the driver of the day.
I can start with him and then we can go to No Limit if he joins.
Okay. We'll pass it off to Redeemer and he'll take it away for TTM Heatwave.
Heatwave, as always, we ask if you guys can include your audio. Really well done. Crashed out in qualifying on the medium starting P10. And I'm assuming you just kind of let the race come to you. Walk us through your race and, you know, what was going through your head.
In quali, once again, on the mediums, they're crashing out just like in Monaco. So I've kept up the streak, putting on mediums, quali. And yeah, it was just, you know, start of the race, I was just staying cool, just trying to keep my pace until I had to pit. I was gonna go medium soft, but I just ended up earlier. Yeah, The strategy, it wasn't very fun to drive because the softs just died at the end. So got kind of punted the limit. I saw it on the stream. That just lost me 2 positions. Made me need
Yeah,
to
it was
overtake more.
definitely. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Definitely a weird race for you and for us here in the booth. Going to Canada next week. Do you have strong feelings about Canada, or is that one of?
I no comment. I suck.
All right. I don't have any further questions for you, Katra. I will pass it to you for BRL race.
All right. Once again, congratulations on your podium heatwave and actually grabbing driver of the day, 10th to 3rd. So once again, we'll hope to see you continue that form up in Canada. But one driver that has continued the form and actually, I guess, reversed it after the couple of, I guess, a little bit lackluster Grand Prix is Wraith. Make sure your box is included. And, well, you did it. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
It was tough, but yeah, I set a really good lap in quali, which meant I had pole. So my strategy was just going to be to pit lap 7 on the softs, and then just try and take the mediums all the way if I can, and just hope that they last. But when I went on to the mediums, like maybe a few corners after I passed Heatwave, he still didn't pit yet. A safety car came out, so yeah, that completely changed my strategy. So yeah, I think that's when I either pitted then, or I actually don't know when I pitted, but if it was then I probably pitted then, and then from there on I just oh yeah, I did pit then, because then Sweller was in front of me, so I knew I had to try to some way get past him, but I had the tire advantage on him. But yeah, Heat Wave went onto the soft, so I knew he was gonna be pressuring me throughout the race until the end. So yeah, my plan was just to try and get past Sweller, and then hopefully Heat Wave didn't catch me. But yeah, so at the end of the day, P1 I'm really happy with, and getting closer to Sweller in the championship was my goal, so I did that too. So yeah, I'm happy with this race.
If I'm not mistaken, unless there is something I am missing, you actually should be tied with him. Grabbing 4th position, you grabbing 1st with fastest lap. That is a 14-point increase from your position. Well, that means you'd be tied with him on points going into Canada, and well, it's his home Grand Prix. Does that mean in this incentive for you have to win because he's going to want to?
No, I think I'll, take the same approach as I always do and just try and go for the win, and yeah, nothing changes on my side.
Well, nothing needs to change as you won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for your 3rd win of the season, so congratulations on that, and, well, it was definitely well-deserved. You showed a lot of pace out there.
Thank you.
Well, unless you have anything to add on Heatwave, we need to wrap this up. Not Heatwave.
Nope.
Well, not Redeemer thing.
I'm all set.
Good. Well, I've already forgot who I'm talking to. It's been a long day, and it's about to get even longer, because in about 30 minutes' time, Tier 1 take the streets of Baku under their own Grand Prix in their championship. You get to hear the likes of Mitchie and myself commentate over the likes of Chandler Sita, of Hoopalicious, of Boss Cookie, of BRL Neymar, Miniko, Bailey, Ryan Raptor. There's so many more names you can add in. And it's going to be a lot of fun to tune in. So tune in at about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Tier 1 circuit around the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the streets of Baku. But if you don't like Formula 1 racing, that's completely fine. Tune in tomorrow on Sunday for the Assetto Corsa Competizione GT3 League at, I believe, it is the Nürburgring. You'll have some fun at the 2 hours of the Nürburgring. It's actually commentated by our very own Axe F1. He'll have some fun, as we always do. If you want to tune in a week from now, the Canadian Grand Prix will head to, actually, the Formula 2 circuit will head to Canada, and the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and that'll be a pretty good race. Tune in. You can see Miniko, hopefully, and I say hopefully, Bringing the action from the streets, I guess you could say in quotation marks, is kind of a hybrid kind of thing, of Canada. And you also have Realistic on Thursday with Tier 3, Tier 4 on Friday. And once again, we'll be back here in a week's time for the Canadian Grand Prix for Tier 2 in the Breakout Racing League for Round 7. And let's hope that's a good one, as this one was. So for myself, Hey Catcher, alongside LDR Redeemer from BRL Wraith, No Limit, who unfortunately could not join us in the booth today, and TTM Heatwave, and the rest of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, and the Breakout Racing League as a whole, we say good night, and thank you for tuning in.